Hi ladies, so we have reached the risk reduction and education portion of our training today, and I wanted to spend a little bit of time with you because this is one of the most important parts of our chapter's operations. And so I know that I wasn't able to be with you all today, but I wanted to make sure that I took the time to go over some important things that I think will help you as a chapter, and more importantly, I want to make sure that your EC is on the same page. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jackie Kennedy. I am the harm reduction mentor that's assigned to work with Alpha Psi. If you didn't know, Alpha Psi chapter has a special person completely devoted to helping you all manage some of the risks that are in your chapter. So I'm here to support you all in things anywhere from our educational programming and how to make them interactive and more fun so that the chapter is receptive to them, the logistics of planning the event, or honestly, I think you all are going to be approached by women in your chapter who they're coming to you because they need your help and they believe that you can help them. And I'm here to support you and empower you in that because I truly do believe that each of you can help and change and support another sister in their life and where they are and the challenges that they're met with. And that's absolutely why they picked you to lead. So congratulations on that, and I'm looking forward to working with you in this journey. So like I said, what I want to do is I want to go through 9 things that will line up with our 9 key values that I think will help you all lead your chapter. It's a big responsibility, it's a big job, it's hard sometimes, and just because of the sheer size of your chapter, you may have some more challenges than others, but you can absolutely navigate them and do a great job. So my personal philosophy on risk reduction and education is that I don't think a chapter should ever have really much of any problem if the organization is there. So I believe that most chapters' risk issues are related to their organization. So I want you to keep that in mind while you all plan events, because you do have a considerable amount of people that will be attending and participating in things. And I'm not specifically talking about just social events. I'm talking about all the events across the board. How can we make them great and safe and fun for our sisters so that we have a good time? So the other part of this before I go into the 9 pieces is I want you all to know that the reason this is a part of your training is because this is not just the harm reduction chair's job. It's not just the risk chair's job. Each of you do have a responsibility in this, and so that's why this is a part of the training, because we just can't do it alone. It can't all be one person's job to manage all the risk in the chapter. So these are the 9 things. I want you to write them down, and then we're going to go into them in more detail. They do match up with the 9 key values that you all have been talking about all throughout your whole training. So these are the 9. So I'll give you the gist, and I'll go slow so that you guys can write them down. So the first one is to know your national policies, know your rules. So just to sum it up, just know your rules. The second one is to build relationships, and building relationships, I guess I should have connected the first one. Know your national policies is going to go along with the key value of responsibility. Build relationships is the second one, and so this will match up with your key value of seeking understanding that we may gain true wisdom. The third message that I want to communicate to you guys is communicate on the front end. So just lots and lots and lots of communication. So communication, and we'll tie that with service and philanthropy. The fourth one will be that you manage people. And this will match up with humility. The fifth one is hold your sisters accountable. So we want to hold our sisters accountable, and we'll match that up here with loyalty and commitment. The sixth one is be true to grow. I know that sounds super weird. I promise I'll explain that, but be true to grow. And this will be with being rather than seeming. So be true to grow. The seventh one is educate. And I think this ties in nicely with lifelong learning, so to educate. And the 8th one will be to lead the way. Leadership, so lead the way. And then the 9th and final point of our risk reduction training will be to leave a legacy, and that will be matched up with love. Okay. So just to talk about these, so the first thing that I really want you guys to take away from today is that I need you to know your national policies, your bylaws, your point systems, because you all are going to be wanting to hold women in your chapter accountable, and you need tools to stand on when you're trying to say, hey, like, we have to do this. So I need you all to know your national policies. That is something that we probably won't go into depth in this training with, but it's something that we do need to follow up and circle around. So I do hope that over your Christmas break, you all can log into your Z Learning portals and you will take the time to learn what your national policies are. Because when I am working with your risk chair and your social chair and we're planning mom's days or philanthropy events or formals and what have you, most of my questions are all going to be centered around, hey, like, are we following these policies? People don't love policies, they don't love rules, but we are committed to having those things in place to protect the integrity of your organization and make sure that it's there for a long time. And so we're just trying to keep you guys safe, like, while you do fun events, and so that's why they've become policies or rules. But use them to your advantage, because that way it's not like, oh, well, Jackie said that we have to do blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, like, we stand behind this because it keeps our women safe. So that's the first thing I really do want you all to spend some time with. The second one is to build relationships. And when I say building relationships, you all have been given this really awesome opportunity to lead your chapter and to get to know every person in it. So when I was a chapter officer, I knew people when I first got my role, but I didn't really know very many people. And when I think about you guys are in this really cool spot, because now all of a sudden your job means that you have a reason to talk to everybody in the chapter. And this is going to be a big part of when you're trying to reduce risk, or you have to enforce a policy or a rule, or you're trying, like, something happened and you're just trying to deal with it in general. Just to have that friendship and that relationship with your sisters will make it so much easier. Honestly, I would do a million things for people that take the time to talk to me, and the people that don't take the time to get to know me or what I care about, or even what I think about things going on, I'm probably less inclined to help them out. So think about who you don't know in the chapter and make it your goal to get to know them. The third thing is to communicate on the front end. Literally communicate to the world. Tell your mom, tell your advisors, tell your media advisor, the general advisor, the academic advisor, your whole chapter. The more that you can tell them about what's going on, especially in regards to risk reduction planning, like around check-in, around formals, the better. If they know your expectations, you aren't going to have as many issues as you could otherwise. The fourth thing is that you are going to work with people. The advice from your former risk chair that she wanted all of AC to know is just be prepared for any response from your sisters. So you might think that, when you ask them to be a function monitor, someone's going to be like, oh yeah, super cool, yeah, I'll help you. And then you come to find out they're really not that excited about that. But just know you're managing people. So they're all in different places in life. Maybe they're stressed, maybe they have a lot going on at home or school or work, and they have different views on different things. And just know you're managing people. Don't take it personally. It just comes with the territory. It comes with your job. So be prepared for anything. The fifth thing is to hold your sisters accountable. So you all have lots of different ways to hold your sisters accountable, but it can't be on one person. So I really encourage you all to use the judicial system if you need to, or if you need to have one-on-one conversations or bring in an advisor to help support those conversations, do it. The other words of advice for some of your other former risk chairs that they said, hey, Jackie, could you please share this with them, is just communicate to the chapter that judicial isn't personal. We got to do it. And I think that that's true. Like, we do need to take care of business, but it can be personal too at the same time, because you're their sister and you care about them and you care about the chapter, or you wouldn't be using the system at all. And I think that you're going to have a really awesome presentation about judicial. So either you've had that or you're going to have that. So that will help support some of that messaging. The sixth thing, so this is the weird one, the be true to grow, is that the best thing you can do for yourself and your growth as an officer, and even as the chapter as it navigates some of the risk issues that it might have, is just to be totally honest and transparent about it. If you're not saying, hey, like, this is what we have going on, or hey, this is one of my challenges or my struggles, like, you don't grow. And so we're here to help. I know one of the issues that we had when I first started working and with the chapter was that we didn't realize that when we did a social with the men's fraternities, that they needed to follow every single rule that we followed. Like, they needed to have function monitors, they needed to do the check-in process, they needed to load up on the bus and come home on the bus. And so I know that we've made some progress here and we're not perfect, but that was a huge opportunity for growth and a good one, because we needed to get in line with our policies. So just always, like, let us know, like, if something happens, pick up the phone, call Bree, call me, call Kathy, like, call any of us, because we want to help you all be the best that you can be. The seventh thing is our educational programming. So this is something I would really love to see your EC champion and take on and make it better, because I think that there is an opportunity and a place for things that sisters in your chapter really want to hear about, but they're not hearing about and they don't know how to deal with it. So think about or survey the chapter for things that are maybe hot issues, like, is it eating disorders, or do we have an issue with sexual assault and we don't know how to address it, or is it just our regular stuff like drinking too much, pre-gaming too much at things. And so talk to the chapter about things that they want to hear about that could help them be better, and always talk to them about the why. Like, why are you asking them to do certain things? Why are we talking about this programming? I'm forever grateful for some of the programming that the fraternity has done, because I've been faced with issues that I never dreamt one of my sisters would bring to me and say, hi, like, what do I do with this? And I was like, oh my gosh, catalog, like, what could I go back to? And some of it was programming from the chapter, and that was super, super helpful. So the eighth thing is to lead the way. So I want you to know that you are in the best fraternity. This is the best group on campus, and I know that you all have different rules than some of your other groups on campus, and sometimes it's hard to not fall into, well, so and so does this and this fraternity does that, and like, why are we so strict? Why are we these things? And I just want to call you to always be a campus leader. Like, we can set the trend for where we're going, and we don't have to be like everyone else, because we're not. We're called to seek the noblest, to be the absolute best that we can be. So I hope that you think about leadership when it comes to some of those campus issues and risk reduction, that we could really play to and help support the mission of University of Missouri Greek life going to a better place. And my last point here was to leave a legacy. And when I think about a legacy, some of you are approaching probably your senior year in Zeta, or maybe you're an officer now and you're super excited, but I want you to always remember, like, what do I want to leave the chapter with? And be willing to do the hard things, because the hard things that your EC doesn't do are inherited problems of the chapter. And so I just want to call you to, like, always be thinking about, hey, like, where do I want my group to actually go? Like, where do I want it to be? What's my legacy? And so you all could be approached, especially in the harm reduction area, with some hard decisions, and I don't want you to leave it for the next group, because it's kind of like a domino effect. You leave one bad thing and then it all just starts happening. And I just really believe, after working with the last two groups of ECs, that you all are amazing, you're outstanding, and the sky's the limit for whatever you want to do. And we just got to keep leaving that legacy of we care about people, we're going to do our best that we can do all the time, and in harm reduction, keep making those improvements. So thinking on those things. So those are the 9 things that I wanted to leave you with to think about in terms of harm reduction, and reflecting in how they really do tie in with all of your 9 key values and how you can use them to lead the chapter. I am here to support you, like I said before. I am an advisor who is not local, so I'm not in Columbia. I'm actually located in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and so most of our conversations will probably be through FaceTime or text messaging or email, but just know I will do anything and everything I can to help support you in this area, and know that I absolutely believe that you all can carry this responsibility and help Alpha Psi be great this year. And please, please, please have an awesome year. Have all the fun, because this experience you can only do this one time with this group of women that's sitting around you. So best of luck, and thanks for letting me take some time today. Again, I'm so sorry I could not be there today, but I love you all already, and I look forward to working with you this year.